Hey kids, it's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. We have an Ibanez RG series on the bench today. It's a new guitar for all intents and purposes. Customer has a couple of complaints, so let's get to work and see what we can see. Where are we? Get centered. Excuse me. Okay, so the main complaint is, well, it's new, and by his own admission, he tried to make some adjustments on the springs underneath. He detunes it, so he loosened, detuned it, and then tried to adjust the springs underneath for the Floyd Rose style bridge. Not recommended if you don't know what you're doing. So we're doing a setup today. We are not doing a string change. But I'd like to know, before I even loosen these up, where we are to begin with. Now, I kind of checked this with the client before he left it, and I'm going to show you what I found. Let's start with 12. We're checking neck relief. Now, buzzing in the middle frets, 7th fret, whatever. And it's really tight. I mean, if your feeler gauge gets stuck in there, it's tight. That's 12. Let's see if a 10 goes in there. No. The 10 is getting stuck too. So I know we've got too straight a neck. Let's just say it doesn't have any neck relief. And you have to. When you pluck a string, it goes around in a circle, and it needs that a little bit of neck relief to vibrate and not buzz, especially when you get in these middle frets, and especially usually on the lower strings, the bass side. So yeah, I'd like to see some more neck relief in there. Let's see where our string height is in relation to that, the way it's set up right now, which is new. Really low. Really low. So those two things alone can cause string buzzing kind of all over the place. The other thing is the Floyd Rose style bridge is kind of tilted down. I want to see it level. I want to see the saddles level with the deck of the guitar. And you can even see, these are our string block screws, and they're angled down into the pocket. We want that to be a little bit more prone up. Not way up, but up. This is a little bit different Floyd Rose style, and I keep saying Floyd Rose style. It doesn't say Floyd Rose on it anywhere up here, and it doesn't even say Ibanez. And usually Ibanez will tag their Floyd Rose style bridges. It appears to be in good condition. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I'm sure I can make this guitar play properly. String pickup height is way close. Like really way close. I don't know why they would let a guitar off the line like that, but I mean, geez, I can't even get the feeler gauge in there. So let us proceed. We are going to take these off. Don't need them on there for setup. I'm going to just loosen them because we're not changing strings. And let's get it tuned up to pitch. Just to start with, I want to also take off the back plate because we're going to have to get at those springs. I don't like the attitude of our bridge. Just not, it's not doing it for me. It's got a left-handed headstock on it. I gotta keep reminding myself, and I made a note on his paperwork, he's tuning half step. And it's pretty much there. That's okay. That part's okay. We're not going to do that until we get all this sorted out. But the very first thing we're going to have to do is get the back cover off, because I'm going to have to get in there. This is backwards. These two things, they design it like that so you can get at the spring claw, I'm sorry. But I always take them off. I want to see what's going on in there while I'm doing the setup. He did not give me the trem bar for this guitar, but I have one that's similar. And it will work because I want to be able to get it set up to where it's found equilibrium between the string tension and the spring tension. And I need to kind of activate the whammy. So this is actually supposed to be like that so that you can access the spring claw without taking the cover off, but I like to see in there. I like to see in there while I'm doing this. I very rarely ever adjust that without taking that cover off. So right away I'm going to say, for the tuning that he wants, this bridge needs to come up. The attitude of the bridge needs to come up, and what that entails is, what's happening is the springs are actually pulling down. There's too much tension on these three springs, and it's pulling down on the bridge. And that will affect also string height, and it can affect, other adjustments, not necessarily buzzing frets, because that's going to be, once we get this and the neck relief and this set to where we have equilibrium between the strings and the springs, then we'll worry about string height, which is the final adjustment with pickup height. But for sure, it's definitely tilted down towards the body. Some of them, really good, high quality Floyd Rose, have a line right here, and that's to kind of delineate where you want it to be. But if you don't have that, there's something there, but it's not accurate. Your saddles want to be level with the body, and they're definitely tilted down, and you should be able to access these with a wrench without damage and pain. And they're being tucked and pulled into the body route. So we got a little problem there, or a little issue, I should say. So first things first, we're going to set the neck relief. We're tuned to pitch, which means we have string tension on it. Now, neck relief can be adjusted right now. That's the first thing that we want to adjust. You have to do that first, because none of this adjustment here, string height, pickup height, spring tension, what have you, none of that will change neck relief. Neck relief is the first adjustment that we're going to make, period. Once we make that adjustment, every other adjustment will follow. Come over there. It's actually a pretty nice little guitar. It seems to be well built. It's got decent build quality. RG series are generally pretty interesting instruments in general. I don't know if that's a 7 or a 4. Of course, it's not going to let me get my wrench in there without loosening the string. I believe it is a 7. Survey says 7mm. Now, what we're trying to do is put more relief in the neck. And to do that, we need to loosen it, and that means to the left. Not to the right, to the left. I want a little bit more dip in the neck. If we were tightening it, sometimes you want to loosen string tension, but since we're loosening it, we should be all right. And go slow with that. Don't be in a hurry to make wild adjustments. Whoops. Helps if you're on the right key. Left-handed, of course. Wide world of sports happened here. I want to get my D back up to tension. And remember, we're trying to make all these adjustments to a half a step. And that's key because that's part of your tension. The tension that you're putting on not only the springs, but the string tension on the neck. And it can be tricky. I just caught myself. I was trying to tune the low E all the way up. So we made an adjustment. We make another check. See where we're at. I'd like to see 12 thousandths. It's just my standard. I know it's safe. And that little turn was perfect. Was absolutely perfect. Now, my little trick is, because we're loosening, I just want to go back. If I'm tightening, there's already more tension on the truss rack. But if you're loosening to make an adjustment to get more neck relief, I want to go back in. I want to go back in and just snug it. In my mind's eye, it puts tension on it at that adjustment. And that's it. That's what's going to make me sleep good at night. C sharp. Let's go. Yeah, we're close enough now. Yeah, we're staying close enough. So our neck relief, for all intents and purposes, is now set for these strings. Nothing else that I adjust can booger the neck relief. Okay. What I want to do now, I know that there is too much spring tension. I'm going to back these off slightly. And when I say slightly, I'm talking about a half a turn each. I want to see more lift. To get to our tune, where we're tuning this instrument, I want to get the right lift on that bridge. In other words, we're trying put more string tension. We loosened the spring tension, and we're trying to get the natural string tension at this tuning, which is half step, E flat, call it what you want, to pull up that bridge a little bit. And then it's just a matter of adjusting, checking, and activating it. And that will help it find equilibrium. And it's a tedious process. It's going to take a while, especially because it's one of those. And as long as I continue to tune it up and it's going flat, then I know we're going in the right direction. We're putting more string. The string tension is trying to overtake the spring tension, and as a result, it's going to start lifting that bridge up, and it's going to get, which it already is, and it's already starting to get more level and flat with the surface. The deck, I like to call it, right? And I'm going to pause because I could do this 20 times before it actually falls into equilibrium. Each time, it's going to continue to go flat, until it finally finds its happy place, its equilibrium. And it's getting less and less flat each time. So I'm going to pause while I spend the next 20 minutes going through this exercise. And that's probably about what it'll take. And then eventually it'll just stop going flat and it'll find its equilibrium. And I can tell you that we're really starting to level out, because each time it goes flat and we tune it up, the strings are putting more tension, pulling the bridge up to its natural position where it needs to live. So I hope that makes sense. Stand by. So off camera, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, I tend to like to get them close and then let them settle for a few minutes, and then when you come back, run it again. And we're golden. It has found equilibrium, and now our bridge has lifted up enough to where the saddles are level with the deck of the guitar, the top of the body, and mainly, this was the most obvious thing. When we started, those were tilted down into the route. So it is up where it belongs now. And it looks really nice. It's in the position where it needs to be. Now, let's check our intonation. Dead on. Usually the factory gets this right. Now, the other day, I found one that I didn't like. And it's this guy right here, always the G string. And after making those adjustments, the intonation has fallen into line with the rest of them. Dead on. Usually they get that right. That's a hard measurement that you can do with a tape measure, for crying out tears, and get that so close. I don't know how or why, but they always get that right and screw everything else up. Neck relief and what have you. Let us now see where our string height is. Because intonation, neck relief, and intonation, neck relief and bridge position is where we like it. But our string action is too high now. And that does not surprise me, because by geometry, if you bring this up, the bridge is now prone level where it needs to be, where before it was tilted down. It has effectively brought the string action up. Plus, we put a little bit of relief in the neck. So those two adjustments have brought our string action too high. Yeah, where before it was way too low. So how do we fix that? Well, that's pretty simple. Now, here's how I know Floyd Rose, or off-brand, maybe licensed by Floyd Rose, 3mm, that should be 3mm, and it's not. That's usually a dead giveaway that it's not a real Floyd Rose. It's a 4mm. So we want to lower our action. We're going to turn it clockwise down a half a turn and start with that. Same thing on the treble side. And this is also, we had it tuned up. This is also indicative of a non-genuine Floyd Rose. A Floyd Rose, you can move that up and down and the tuning will stay the same, but with one that's not, it usually doesn't stay the same. And it just made a liar out of me. So maybe Floyd forgot to put his name on it. I don't know. I don't know. It made a liar out of me. That's okay. I can learn. Closer, but not where I like it. I like that exactly where it is. I want this one to go down slightly, and I mean slightly. I want to disappear the 5/64 line on my measurement tool, the string gauge. I want the string to cover the 5/64 line here, and I want to cover the 4/64 line here, meaning bass and treble respectively. So just a slight turn there, and that should get us where we need to be. Maybe just a bit more. Just a bit more. Now we're going down. We're actually moving the whole bridge down. That's perfect. And this one can now come up slightly. Just slightly. Yep, I like that. Let's check our tuning. String action is personal preference. There are some rules. You can't go too low. Everybody and their brother says, oh, I want my action low. Well, yeah, you and every other guitar player on the planet, because that's all you know how to say. But the reality of the situation is it's what the instrument will bear. If it bears this action, that's pretty low. You can go lower if you want. There's no rule on high on the top of the mountain that says you can't go lower. But if it starts buzzing, don't cry to me. You can go higher if you want to play slide or you like your action higher. I've never heard a guitar player say, make my action really high. I'm liking it now. And it's holding tune. Yeah, I am liking that. It's really behaving nicely. I'm leaving these loose. I like to leave these loose until everything has settled. And then later on, the client, the player, can snug these up as needed and start to use the fine tuners down here, you know, whenever you pick it up. right? Last thing I'm going to do before we play it is address this. And yeah, they're too close for my liking. And why do we make them lower or higher? Well, it's a magnetic pickup, and it works in a magnetic field, and magnetic fields have their happy place. Too close, and you're going to choke out your power, your sound. Too far away, and you lose power. It won't pick up the vibration of the string. I set them all the same. I recently had a troll says, no, you want that all the way up to where the string is almost banging off the pickup. Well, that's bullshit. So if you're watching, I'm calling you out. It needs to be in that perfect little sweet spot, which is right there. And it happens to be 1/8 of an inch on the bass side and 3/32 on the treble side. And again, you want to go home and start boogering around with your pickup height, go right ahead. Go right ahead. But it's your instrument, it's your life. Do what you want. This one can come up slightly. Do what you want. Make yourself happy. I like that. I like that. So far, I'm kind of digging on everything that this guitar has done for me. Last thing I want to do is put the truss rod cover back on. And I suppose we could plug it in and listen to it. Because why not? Right? Why not? I wish they put the window truss rod cover on this one. They didn't. I suppose acoustically we can check it to make sure that it's not buzzing like it was when we started. I can almost assure you it won't, because I know why it was, and we addressed it. We addressed those issues, right? I don't hear any buzzing there. Well, I'm not a guitar player. I say it every time I pick a guitar up, but let's just see. Now, this is not the right trem bar for this, but I should be able to illustrate. Right? I love it. She's a player. Rolling Stones. It's Blackjack with 396 guitars. Ibanez with a reverse headstock RG series, I believe. she's standing tall now. Client's going to love this thing. It's playing like butter. We got everything straightened out on it. Remember, if you dig what I'm doing, like and subscribe, and please share. We'll talk soon.